Hey, what's up everyone? I know I said I wasn't going to make another video, or likely make another video, depending on how I felt, but I'm feeling slightly better right now, so I decided to go ahead and talk about this. When I was in the store earlier today, and we were getting basic necessities, I got some bread, and I had to ask the people in the store. For some reason, this one woman, who is never usually that way, she was very hateful, though. That's the one thing. She was kind of sarcastic. And I walked up and said, "Ma'am, can you please tell me when Sara Lee became Colonial became Sara Lee Colonial?" And she said, "Don't you know they bought Sara Lee? They bought Colonial. Sara Lee bought Colonial years ago." She said, "If you've ever been to the bread store down the road, then you would know that. Then you know that." That Colonial bought, or Sara Lee bought Colonial years ago, like in 2001. And second of all, the bread store that's in that town, for me and my mama, that store closed down and was replaced by something else years ago, a long time ago. Well, probably 4 or 5 years ago, they replaced that store, that small bread store, with something else. They replaced it. They completely replaced it. There's no way that place would be in business right now. But she stated, "Have you ever been to that bread store? You've been to the bread store, you would know." I'm thinking, okay, that was hateful, and she was like, and I tried to continue talking to her, and she ignored me. And I said, "Okay, well, I'm sorry to bother y'all. I wasn't trying to." And she just kept talking to that guy very rudely. I don't know why people have to be so rude. She was continuing to talk to that guy, some older woman. She was like probably 50. Old enough to learn, old enough to know manners. And the guy said, "No, you're okay." He's like, "You're fine. You're okay. Don't worry about it." And he said, "We've got all day. We're just doing our job." And she ignored me. I said, "Okay, I was just wondering about the bread." But moving back to someone else, I went over to the cook in there that was, he worked with the deli meats and things. And he was looking at me, and I asked him, I said, "When did Sara Lee buy Colonial?" And he said, I have no idea. I had never seen. I said, I had never seen those two brand names together. And I said, "A woman over there told me it's been that way since 2001. He said, "Not to my knowledge." He said, I do not know." He said, "I have never seen Colonial Sara Lee before, ever. Me neither." He said, "That's a new one for me as well." He said, "I will say Sara Lee's buying a lot of companies." And I said, "Yeah, I know, they did buy a lot." And I said, "They bought back in 2001. I heard in 2009 they bought more companies." And he said and I told him, "I have heard that they did buy a bunch of companies for billions." But the thing is, not enough people just don't. He said, "Now they probably just," and I asked the cashier as well. I even asked the cashier, and I asked another lady. And they all stated, they said, "Well, I have never heard of that in my life. I bet that's new. I bet that's new." That's what they stated. "I bet it's new." I asked the cashier. She said, "I bet that's new." I said, "Well," I said, it's good. So it's new for you also?" She said, "Yeah, I've never heard of that in my life. Never seen that before." And I said, "Well, the woman back there claimed that y'all have always carried it that way for many years now." She said, "Not to my knowledge." So it's amazing to me how you can have so many different people in the same place tell you different memories who have been working there for who knows how long. And the one woman, what was weird about it is how hateful she got, how offended and hateful she got. That's what she's never been that way. Completely different personality for me. Completely. But anyway, let me think. The cashier was like, "No, you're not crazy." And she just laughed. I said, "Well, at least I know I'm not going crazy. I was just trying to be, have a conversation." And I didn't bring up the ME because of obvious reasons. I wasn't going to bring that up. She said, I guess they bought them. But what's amazing is how something can be different right in front of people. And it doesn't, I mean, that's, the woman told me, the woman that was so hateful this time told me that it had always, I mean, it's been that way for a long time now. And, oh, we carry a lot of Sara Lee bread. Sara Lee bought Colonial. Well, for me, they had the old-fashioned bread. Sara Lee old-fashioned bread. I said, that's what I always seen. Then that woman at the register told me, yeah, that's what I seen too, old-fashioned bread. She said, up till a couple of weeks ago. I said, up till a couple of weeks ago. I was like, for me, I thought they were carrying it. She said, yeah, yeah. And I said, the woman in the back told me that they've been carrying this for a long time. And it's crazy. It's literally, and that woman in the back, though, she got so hateful. That's what was so weird. It's like she was triggered by something. But, yeah. Anyway, you know what? Something else happened, too, by the way. I've got a lot to share of things. I'll show in a video my phone earlier. I mean, I'll show you exactly the setup and stuff. I've got this charger that I plugged to the wall. It's like it's a GE wall charger. You plug up the USBs to it. You plug up the USBs to the input. It's charged. There's two inputs, and you plug it up to the wall socket. I had that unplugged. Okay, we'd unplugged it this morning, and I didn't know that it had been unplugged, and we unplugged that this morning, and I went in there this evening. Of course, I was like highly energized, but in a bad way. I mean, not this evening, but this morning. I was kind of in a, like, all upset. Kind of my high energy and my the negativity was heightening all this, but my energy was super heightened. Well, I went in there and I plugged my phone up to the. I mean, I laid my phone down on the round charger, and it was charging. It charged really quickly. I thought, okay, it's charged up to 70% within a short period of time from nothing. And then I pick it up, and then I had to tell Amazon that they sent me the wrong item. And I contacted the seller. They sent me the wrong item. I haven't ordered anything on Amazon in a long time, but they sent me the wrong item, so I'm waiting for their response, for the company's response. But it's something we needed. And so that, well, as I contacted them and I emailed them, and then I put the phone back on I laid the phone back down. I was wondering, why isn't it charging now? Why isn't it charging? And I found out it wasn't plugged in, and it hadn't been plugged to the wall, and something else was plugged to the wall that whole time. And I thought, wait a minute, then how in this world did I charge my phone up earlier, having the phone plugged in to that wireless charger plugged in? How did my phone charge to 70% when it wasn't even plugged into the wall? And what was plugged up to the wall had been plugged up there all morning long. That charger hadn't been plugged up. So somehow or other, my phone, I guess it was me, it charged up without being plugged up. Yeah, that was crazy too. I've got a lot to share, but I don't know how I feel. I'll separate these into separate videos. I'll do another video regarding the bread, another video regarding that charger, and I'll show you in the restroom. I'll show you on the counter at the sink. I'll show you exactly what happened. I'll talk about it so I can explain it better. Hopefully I feel better. Hopefully things get better. Right now I'm feeling better than I was, but I just wish, I hope and pray things get better in this life, that some good fortune comes about for all of us, that can turn things around, and before the time. So anyway, I just want to state I love you all. This is a change. That's something that happened, personal experience today. Not sure why that woman was so hateful, though. She's never been that way. Then she just completely ignored me when I continuously tried to talk. The guy, he didn't. He said, no, you're fine. And that was kind of strange, but anyway, peace and much love. I just want to talk about these couple of weird things that happened today. Bye.